the Associate Director of Professional Development at IIMC. I have the honor and privilege of serving our municipal clerks to whatever capacity I'm needed, but mostly I work primarily on certification for CMC and MMC, and I plan the curriculum for our annual conference, and then all other duties is assigned, which I'm sure all of you are very familiar with. You just got to do what you got to do to get the job done. So usually I have a PowerPoint for this, and the cool thing is that I did one for CMC, so if you go back to that PowerPoint, it's all the same stuff, but I wanted to do something a little different for you all since you're working on your MMC, and I've had about 6 back-to-back phone calls with people working on their MMC, and I thought, okay, this is what we've got to do. These are some pain points. So I'd like to share, first of all, our IIMC website and where to go for all of your MMC material in case you haven't been there yet. Then I will open up our MMC designation. So you all, I don't know if you have it already or if you've looked at it, but I highly suggest that you download it and start tracking all of your courses now as you go, so it doesn't become a total pain when you're ready to submit. And then I want to walk you through our portal. We call it a portal right now. It's more like a glorified Dropbox, right? So it's just one place where you're going to drop all of your stuff. So it's not going to one email and it won't get lost because more than one person has access to it. So basically your stuff is safe there. And if I'm not around, Ms. Hill can access it, Dr. Rodriguez can access it. So we know that all of your information is safe. Always save a backup of your information because once you submit it, just consider it gone, right? So we don't resend if you want to say, can you send back my information? Sadly, it's a no. So just make sure to save all of your information on your desktop when you're submitting. Okay, now let me go ahead and open up our website. All right, and Kathy, if you could just give me a thumbs up if you can see. Perfect. So this is our beautiful IIMC website. It is also your website if you're an IIMC member, so I hope you all get very familiar with this. When you come here, you're just going to go to education and then go to certification. The great thing is that we try to put a lot of resources on here that are going to be helpful for you on your way. You're going to want to go to MMC, Master Municipal Clerk Program here. On the right, we have 2 links. We have a step-by-step guide, and then we also have the designation application. This designation application is what you're going to use. So always when you click on it, make sure to download it. When you click on it, don't start filling it out because none of your information will be saved. So you want to click on it, download it, and save it to your computer. So first, I'll do this. I'll go into the step-by-step guide. And this is just a good refresher since our process has changed a bit from before. This gives you everything step by step. We'll ask some basic questions like, are you a CMC? Want to make sure you are because sometimes people haven't actually been certified through IIMC with their CMC. So you want to make sure that's done. If not, we provide that link for you there to enroll in the program. And then you go to step 2. And then to obtain your MMC, you'll require 60 points of advanced education and 40 of professional contribution. And we don't do course reviews anymore. But by not doing the course reviews, we've actually expedited our review process. So we know that you all are excellent record keepers. So really, we hope to make this process as easy as possible. And then when you submit all of your documentation, you've got a pretty quick turnaround time for certification. So before it was about 5 to 6 weeks before you heard anything back. Now I get stoked because I do it within the week usually on a very good week, sometimes the same day. So it's a pretty good process we've got going on. You always want to, when you enroll, so the MMC certification is $400. When you enroll, you have the option to make a deposit, which could be $50. And then when you're ready to finally submit, you can pay the remainder. It's up to you. Or you could pay the full $400 right up front. Totally up to you. Usually that payment is the only thing that keeps me from certifying you officially because we can't certify you until you're all paid up. So now I'm going to actually go back here to our website. This is the MMC designation application. So as I mentioned, we're going to want to download the file. I'm trying to open it here. Come on. Enable editing. All right. So the great thing about this new designation is that it will tally the points for you. And this is my, this Excel sheet seems to be the biggest hurdle for a lot of our members. I don't know if it's because it's the red and the black and the way it looks, and it just feels very overwhelming and all the words that are on the entire sheet. I get it. So my advice is go one block at a time and read through your application. I also suggest just printing it out because for some of our clerks, it's actually, they feel better if they could just print it out and look at it one by one, maybe highlight anything you want to highlight. But as you look here, we do have the point calculation. So if you do an IMC approved academy, it's going to go here. So anything that's with your academy, your institute, it's going to go right here. And then you put the hours and the points. If you see here, sometimes on your certificates, it'll tell you how many points are on there, which is great. So you can just put how many points. But let's say you're getting certificates that don't have the hours. My recommendation is clock in all the hours and wait till you have the total to then divide by 2. Because sometimes if it's a 1 hour, you're going to start working with decibels and all that stuff. So it might be better to just calculate all of your hours first and then divide by 2. So it's 1 point per 2 educational hours. And I just ask that you do your best to fill this out. If you are unable or you think like, oh, maybe I calculated this wrong or I'm not sure, don't worry about it. That's where customer service comes in. When I review it, I'll look at it. And if I see that, oh, you actually shorted yourself hours here, I'll move things around if they need to be moved around. We just asked, kind of consider this like an audit. So whatever you're putting here, I need to verify that you have the documentation that supports whatever you're putting here. Right? So that's the most important thing. And if you have a bachelor's degree, you would go here in public administration. That would be 20 points. Unrelated field here, associate's degree here. And so here it says, be sure to include a copy of official transcripts for each degree submitted. From an educational standpoint, once you open a transcript, it is no longer official. So keep in mind, we understand you're going to have to open your transcript in order to scan it and upload it. So you don't have to mail these in. We know that you're going to download them and upload them. So I get that question often, like, is it still official? We're still going to accept it because we're asking you to upload it. Certification from another organization relevant to your responsibilities as a municipal clerk. Does anyone have an example of what another certifying body might be that you would go through other than to get your CMC or your MMC?
Would a state association certification be used towards that?
So actually, that's a great question. So if you get certified by your state, you can actually use that. Usually a majority of those points you can actually use in you could put it there. No. So this will only give you 7 points. So I would suggest putting it here and stating what state you were certified through and then providing that transcript or however they give it to you so we can look at that to put that towards your advanced education. So usually your state curriculum is very specific, you know, for what you need to know as a municipal clerk in that area. So you can use that here. Sometimes what people talk about here, like certification, it might be some type of certification for records management, or maybe it's from another organization. I honestly don't get too many in this area, but as long as we can verify that you've done the 50 verifiable hours of that, it usually comes in a transcript or certificate, then we can give you the 7 points there. Things are not stagnant, it's very dynamic in this growing and changing field. So we see new things all the time. What's another one that we're seeing? Public service management, different certification programs like that. If there's small certification programs that are like 50 hours or less, they can go here. If it's a separate degree or some type of master's degree, then again, you would put that right at the top in here.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
If you used your bachelor's degree towards the CMC. I'm assuming you cannot use it towards the MMC. Is that true?
That's correct. Yeah. So anything completed after the date of your CMC can be used, obviously, if it meets the criteria towards your MMC. But yeah, but if you already used it, you can't use it again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So in number 6, this is where all of your state association type of programs will go in here and coursework. Sometimes the state associations will give you one big transcript, which is fine. So I don't expect you to list every single course. You can tell me the name, the association, the year, and the hours that they've given you or points. As long as I have the documentation to match it, then you're going to be okay. I don't want to make this process harder than it needs to be. And then we have teacher trainer at an IMC recognized institute, academy, or municipal clerk education program. 1 point per 2 teaching prep hours for IMC approved institutes or academy programs, or 1 point per 4 teaching preparation hours for a state, national, provincial education program. And so if you're teaching and doing extracurricular things for your organizations, you can put it here. We just need a letter stating from the hosting organization that what you did and to verify the hours. And if you want to include also a program or something like that, you can as well.
Can I ask a question on number 6? I did put it in the chat box, but maybe you didn't see it. So number 6, the IIMC Region 1 meetings, would that fall under that section?
The Region 1 meetings, I think it's under I think it might be under professional contribution. Let me double check. Yeah, so number 4, under professional contribution is where the regional meetings would go.
Okay, so it's not, you can't move it up if you have enough points on the lower section.
Right, unless that region meeting,
It has courses that are approved by IIMC, which it does. So that was my
Okay.
question.
Perfect. Yeah, so if it's not just a region meeting where it's just, if it went through the IMC course review process and it's been given points, etc., you can absolutely put it under education.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thanks, Dr. J. Just for clarification, this is Kathy, that yes, we did go through course review and Dr. B approved it. So we're offering a total of 7 points for our upcoming Region 1 meeting, 4 points for the actual training conference part, and then 3 points for the Athenian dialogue. So if people complete all the assessments, they'll get 7 points from our program. It's coming up in a couple weeks. Thanks.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay. And so at number 8, IIMC annual conference. This one I get a lot of confusion because the IIMC logo gets stamped on a lot of different things. I'm realizing that now. So I'm like, So this is our IIMC annual conference, the one conference that IIMC puts out a year. And you get 1 point per 2 educational hours. You'll put, if you attend our conference, which we hope you do, you will put that here. And then again, this is in reference to this conference here. Our academy sessions are 2 points each. And then professionally related seminars that have not gone through the course review process and are directly related to the duties of a municipal clerk. This is a great area because oftentimes you'll have to take certain courses or things that may not happen in Alabama, but you have to do it in California, different areas like that. So you won't get the full points, but you can possibly get 1 point per 6 educational hours. So in this instance, I think it's rare that you're going to find a class that's 6 hours long that's being hosted. So this is where you just kind of rack up your hours and just keep tallying your hours and the courses that you're doing. And then when you've got your total, just divide by 6, and that'll get your estimated points here. And then if you attend Athenian dialogue here, and then online courses by IIMC, we do have a professional development program. Those points vary. And study abroad. Now, I do apologize if it seems like I'm being redundant by going over each line, but I think it is important for anyone who's never seen this before just to kind of get a feel of what it looks like, because again, based on a lot of feedback, this Excel sheet is the biggest barrier to people wanting to complete their certification, and I don't want that to be a barrier. So professional contribution. So if you're a member of the IMC Board of Directors, you get 2 points per year. If you're a chairperson of an IIMC, IMC Foundation, or a municipal clerk association, you get 2 points per year. Officer or trustee of an IMC, IMC Foundation, or Municipal Clerks Association subdivision, 2 points per year. And then this is what we talked about, the regional meetings, which you could add here for your points, 1 point per day, or 1 point per 4 verifiable hours. Again, more points for the annual conference that you can use here. There's no double dipping. So you want to just, if you go to 2 conferences, honestly, if you listed both conferences in the education part, you are allotted 20 points from education, extra points from education to trickle into experience or professional contribution. So I won't make you do the mad math on that if you don't want to. You could leave it all in one space and I will do that for you. And again, 6 is just another replication of what's already above. We've just provided the space if you want to separate it out to have this go here and experience. And then the Municipal Clerk Association Subdivision Committee member. Unique on-the-job performance. So this is one that I really like to talk about. So you all are doing amazing and wonderful things every day. Sometimes you don't even realize what you're doing. Today I spoke with the clerk who literally transformed her office to be completely digital friendly and really took the reins on moving everything, like all of their records. It was a whole project. And she was like, would that count for, something on my designation? I was like, yeah, that's a big job. And it was something that wasn't asked of her, but she was just very proactive and took the lead, like many of you do, to make something better for her community and also for her office and everything else. So what I ask is that if you have these unique on-the-job performance or achievements, that you kind of just write it up, what you did, and most importantly, just if I can get something to verify that you did that. So if it's from city manager, the mayor, whoever assigned this thing or can attest to it, that's really what I'm looking for, right? So we want to make sure that I can match up what you put on your designation with verifiable documentation. And so I do encourage you to be creative and think outside of the box when it comes to the beautiful, wonderful things you're doing. I know sometimes it feels like, it's not a big deal. When this lady was talking to me today, her last name is King, and I was like, your last name should be Queen, because you are just handling business. She was doing so many wonderful things for her municipality. So definitely include it. And I always say the worst thing you can get is no, sorry, that's not going to count, but you'll never know unless you add it in there, right? I had a mentor who always said it takes many no's before you get a yes. But with our office, you're probably going to get a yes as long as you're following the directions. And then personal accomplishments of educational benefit to the profession. Again, so you can do, if you don't want to do this, but you have a letter from someone, you want to do 1 point per accomplishment, you could put it here instead. And then officer in a related professional association. Relevant college or university course credit. So here is where I absolutely need a transcript. So I need to be able to look at your transcript, see what courses you would like to be verified to see if they make sense to use here in your application. And as I go through that, you go through it. What I like to say is, it can, again, I want to make this process not so tedious, right? So if you do upload a transcript, I ask that you highlight the classes you would like to see if are these eligible. And here, just put please see transcript and how many points you're thinking that you want to get out of that transcript, right? So it's 1 point per credit unit. So let's say it's, 3 2-unit classes, you'll, let's say more than 3, because I'm sure you could fill out 3. Let's say it's 10 that you want to see if any of them will count. But please see transcript, highlight the courses on your transcript, and then let's say the 10 is 30 units, you would put 30 points, right? And then from there, I can say which ones would actually go toward your designation. And then other applicable courses that have not gone through the course review process. Again, other classes and things that you're doing that have not been approved by IIMC will get 1 point per 6 educational hours. List out your hours. Once you have all your hours out, get that total and divide it by 6, and that will give you all of your points. Do we have any questions about this designation application before we move on to the portal. And if there are questions in the chat, I can't see it because I'm screen sharing, so I do apologize.
Dr. J, would you like me to read them out loud to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that at the top of the chat, there's the question, are 20 points also given for a master's degree in public administration?
Yes. So you get the 20 points for your bachelor. Yes, you can get eligible for 20 points. Usually, if they have a bachelor's and a master's, we're using the bachelor's degree towards their CMC and saving the master's for the MMC. We just want to make sure that not all of their credits are coming from just their terminal degrees or their master's or their bachelor's. They have to have clerk education as well. So that's kind of a situation where we would review the application, see where they're at, and then try to figure out how to make sure that they're getting a well-rounded clerk education. So, so if it's their job. So in essence, you can't just do 60 points from somewhere else and then get your CMC as a clerk. So we just want to make sure that they have a very well-rounded designation when they submit it.
Okay. The next question, I believe you answered, it is about Region 1 meetings and where they fall in the section, but in which section do they fall? But please interrupt me if I'm missing anything.
No, I think we did go over that, but I'll just go over it again. So Region 1 or region meetings will go, there's two options. You can put them under advanced education in, let's see. Oh, am I fibbing? Hold on a second. Oh no, it's in professional contribution. Number 4. So region meetings, professional contribution, number 4.
And then the next question, step number 2 says MMC credit must be completed after achieving your CMC. However, when I completed my CMC, I was told by IIMC, I was told IIMC did not need my bachelor's or master's degree to qualify for enough points and that I could use them for my MMC. Is this still the case? I believe you might have answered this already too.
Yeah, and so if you already completed your CMC and you didn't use your bachelor's or your master's degree, then you can use that toward your MMC.
Okay. And then Kathy very generously shared that number 10 is probably where a lot of state training workshops will fit. And then JP, notary, public, or commissioner to qualify as state designated to my position. Can we add these?
So this you're going to want to, since we don't have a specific place for it, I would say that we're going to put it in number 5. And what I'll do is you have to list where you got that and how many hours. What usually happens is for those questions, I'll say, can you please email me so I can do my research and see what exactly it is, so I can figure out how many hours it took to do the program and that kind of thing. And then, we'll find a place to put it because not everything fits into this designation perfectly. But yeah, so I'm definitely available offline so we can chat about that to figure out how to get you points and where to put that on your application.
Okay. And I think you like this question, Dr. J. Do years of service to the community count for additional points?
All your years of service. So do years of service to the community? I guess I would like that question a little bit rephrased. Like, does this mean years of service in your position? Yeah.
So I previously used some of it towards my CMC, but after the CMC, I've continued to serve. So I didn't know if those additional years with the community would account for any points. I'm on my 36th year.
Okay, so in those years, are you like a part of like a clerk association, or are you on a chair?
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect. So you want to put think about from the date of when you were certified, counting from then, right? And it could go in number 7.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Do we have to wait till we think we have enough points to submit, or can we submit part way through to see if we are attributing things correctly?
So what I'll say is try to do as much as you can. I will never turn anyone away because that's just not my way of doing things. So if you're absolutely like, I'm so stuck, I don't think I'm doing this right, can you please just take a look at this? I will never say no, right? But for the sake of everybody to keep the process going, kind of reserve that for I'm really, really stuck and I don't understand this and I need help figuring out if this is going in the right place. So I'm always happy to do a quick review. If you send me your Excel sheet that's already completed, then yes, but we don't do the status updates and status review kind of thing. And I'll give you an example. This was literally happening when I first started. People would turn in one certificate with 1 point and then want a status update. And that created a huge bottleneck to the point where when I finally started certifying people, there are people that had been stuck for over 2 years that should have been certified. So we got so caught up in doing these status updates that the people that were ready to go were really being left behind. And so we don't want to go back to that system, right? But 1 or 2 here or there, like I said, we're here to serve you. We don't want to say no, absolutely not. But let's just be proactive. I want you to feel empowered, like you can do this, and you do harder things every day. But yeah, I'll leave that there. If you really, really absolutely need some help, absolutely, I'll help you out.
Do you have to enroll for your MMC to earn points for it, or can you pay for everything at the end?
I highly suggest, and this is so you want to absolutely make sure you have your CMC and that you've enrolled and paid for that. Because sometimes what I've seen is people don't do their CMC and they may have gotten it through their state, but they didn't get it through IIMC. And then they just keep continuing on thinking, I'll just at the end submit everything for my CMC and my MMC and I'll be able to get certified. We can't do that. So you have to make sure that you get your CMC first through IIMC. And I know that wasn't your question, but I just, in case that comes up, then we clock you on our end saying you got your CMC at this date. That tells us that, let's just say for whatever reasons, financial reasons or whatnot, whatever it is, you're like, I can't enroll right now, but I'm going to classes and doing this and that. At the very end, you have everything. All I have to do is look back to the date you're certified and I say, okay, anything after this date that qualifies can go towards the MMC. So yes, if you can't enroll right away, please don't not take classes, but just make sure you have your designation, your CMC through IIMC.
And then currently the last question in our chat is, as a long-standing Rotarian, and I imagine that means a member of Rotary International, of 11 years, please advise if and where this service is recorded.
Yes, so we're gonna go all the way down. Apologize if I'm making anyone dizzy by doing this. Number 10. So this is officer and related professional association. And again, we would need some type of documentation to show that you're doing this, that you've been involved in this association, your position in the association, what you're doing with the association, etc. Something that we can measure up against what you put here.
That concludes our questions in the chat.
Okay. So
Actually,
now,
Karen, there was one more question. It says, if we have more education points than needed, can the extra go toward professional? I know that was sort of answered, Dr. J, but if you could just elaborate more on that, because I think that's a big question for a lot of people. Thanks.
yes.
Thank you,
So
Kathy.
we can transfer over up to 20 points from education into the professional contribution. So if you get 20 points over, so if you have 80 points, then you're allowed to use those 20 toward professional contribution.
Perfect, thanks.
Absolutely. All right, so I will reiterate. So we're gonna pretend that we have filled out our application. We've got everything, it looks great. We've made sure to put in the names of the people we want notified. We can only notify 3 people. That's all our system will allow us to put in. Sometimes y'all are super, you add more lines and add like 5 more people. We just can't. So then we have to make a call and say, who do you really want notified, etc. So unfortunately, it's only 3. But once you put that in, we put it in our system so that when you are certified, everyone is notified because it is a big accomplishment. So you make sure all this is filled out. So now we have everything filled out. You've done your due diligence to try to make sure everything is looking good, points to hours, etc. I highly advise, my suggestion, put everything again on your desktop. I would create 2 folders, one for advanced education, one for professional development, just so you have it ready, right? And then we're gonna go back to our website here. And if we go Master Municipal Clerk, effective June 1. Just remember, it looks like Christmas, green and red, right in this top. And you're going to just click here. This is our glorified Dropbox area. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to put your first and last name, your email address, best number to contact you, date of submission. If you don't know what this is, pick one. Usually you're a full or additional full. We check it anyway when you submit. So if you happen to be an associate member, which means you can't apply for a designation, we would let you know. And I hope you know if you're retired. I have found that even when clerks retire, they don't really retire. So now this here, so education supporting documents. This here is just a link back to our website, but this is where you want to go attach file. So you're literally just going to open this up and drag and drop your files here. So like I mentioned, the 2 desktop items that you have, if you want to upload one by one, you can upload multiple files. You could just drop in the file here and that's it. It'll upload for you. So that's going to be your education. This will be your professional contribution. Same thing, just a drag and drop. So literally I just drag and drop type of thing. Don't want to put all my conference material in there. And other verification of professional contributions. So again, that all the other areas like the letters saying that you were part of an association or that you did professional work or that kind of stuff, you're going to want to put that right there. And I should have mentioned this part that says education, this is also, you're going to upload your designation here as well. It does say that. Please upload your MMC application for designation and education supporting documents here. But just to say it out loud, I feel better if I say it out loud, let you know. You just put both of those things there. And then you're going to hit submit. And once you submit, it goes into our database. I check that database every single day. It's my challenge every day. That's my good work. I say we are improving lives one CMC or MMC at a time. That's our motto. So once you submit it, if you have everything and I'm able to verify it, I go through it, all your documentation, great. No one gets denied or rejected. It's always a almost there or not yet conversation. And that's when I call her my deputy. I say, if I'm the city clerk, she's my deputy clerk. Iris Hill will reach out to you, Miss Hill, and she'll say, you need X amount more points, or we need this other document, and we won't make you redo everything again. We hold that in there, and then when you're ready, we usually say, just email it to us and we'll upload that for you. Okay, so even if you do submit it, you're not quite ready, you're not going to have to go through that whole process all over again. And then you get certified, and you'll get a letter, and you'll celebrate, and you're going to feel awesome. But yeah, so this is our portal. Do we have any questions about this portal? No? It's not so bad, right? Everyone's like, okay, now it's really time to go. I gave everyone a headache before they're clocking out. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this for a moment. All right, so how's everyone feeling? Do you not want to do this anymore? Are you giving up? Are you like, never, I don't want to do an MMC anymore. This is terrible. Y'all okay? Okay. So this is my promise to all of you, right? So I actually review every single certification that comes through here. And so I want you all to know that we at IAMC are your champions, 100%, right? And so you submit something and I get so many conversations about fear, and I don't know if it's a fear of rejection or just not getting it right, but we're here for you and to support you and to make sure that you've got everything you need to be successful, right? So I just want to leave that with you. And again, I will share my scheduling link with Kathy. I'll give that to you if you want to distribute it. So if you do want to have a one-on-one with me, maybe there is a question you didn't want to ask in front of the group, or you feel like it's something that comes up later, we can do that. It'll be a phone call. Because I still like phone calls. I get Zoom fatigue. But I'm happy to do that and leave that for you all so we can do that if you'd like. Other than that, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to share what I do and also hopefully make the process not seem so daunting. And I don't like using the word audit, but somehow it seems to make sense for most people when I say it that way. But I'm a nice auditor. Everything's going to be fine. We got this. We'll be good. We'll be good. Hi, Karen.
And Kathy, I'll send to you a link for this recording also.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Karen. And thank you so much, Dr. J. We really appreciate it. I think it was really helpful just to see the application online and see the portal online, and it sort of removes that mysterious unknown. So very, very helpful. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I'm excited because hopefully you could put both links so people can see the other presentation. Then this is a little more in depth for MMCs to go ahead and dive in there.
We will. Excellent. Thank you so much, both Karen and Dr. J. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.